Success requires a level of discomfort. And what you must realize is that you have to endure the discomfort. And all discomfort is just you being unfamiliar with it. It may not necessarily be hard. Nothing's really hard, nothing's really easy. It's just if you're familiar with it or not. And once you understand that it's just a matter of you familiarizing yourself with what you need to know, you realize that the whole entire time that it never was hard. It was just you didn't know you just had the missing elements that were necessary for you to get to where you want to go or who you want to become. And what you must understand is that you yourself have to put yourself in those uncomfortable situations, right? There would be points I personally did when I was in college. You know, I looked around and I was like, life is kind of easy right now. I kind of want to challenge myself. And I feel like one of the challenges that I endured was the money part. I would spend a little bit more, do a little bit more, and I wouldn't say I would overly indulge in these things, but it was almost like a game to me. It was like, let me see how far I can really take this shit. Let me see how I can figure out different ways to make more money or make myself better so I can make more money. And I still do that shit till this day. And, you know, I think it has truly paid off. Now, I'm not saying go out there and spend an egregious amount of money that you know you don't have, but definitely stretch yourself. Take yourself out of your own comfort zone because no one else is going to do it for you. And you must realize that nobody's gonna want this shit more than you do. And if you don't realize it, and if you don't carry yourself like that, then you will be living life that somebody set out for you. And I see this day in and day out that people live a life that they don't want to live because somebody else gave it to them, and they try and blame and point the finger at somebody else when they really need to be looking at themselves, like, why and how did I end up in this situation? But you know, that comes with humility and being quote unquote humble, which is a word that I don't really like using, but I wouldn't say necessarily being humble. It's more of an accountability factor. A lot of people want to avoid accountability because it's hard and they don't want to point the finger at them. They rather point the finger at somebody else saying that, oh, they're the reason why I didn't have X, Y, and Z, or oh, they're the reason why I couldn't do X, Y, and Z. When you take full accountability for your actions, you're the only one responsible for your life. But when people rely on other people to get certain things done, they'll tend to point the finger and never look at themselves. They'll never look at themselves at, oh, how can I get better? Oh, or in this situation, how could I have gone about talking to this person a certain way, or whatever the situation may be. There's a lack of accountability. And I think with a lack of accountability tends to neglect the things that are genuinely important. And if you're if you are neglecting these things, it's only going to be a compound effect until the shit blows up in your fucking face. So it's better for you to acknowledge these things now so that once time kind of progresses and time kind of goes by, you'll start to realize that, hey, like, I know that I may not be here or where I want to be, but I know that I'm taking accountability for my actions, knowing that there's a lot more that I could be doing. So let me figure out something that I can do today to start building my momentum up so I can start living the life that I want to live and start doing the things that I want to do. And once you have that mindset shift, you know, there will be a plethora of opportunities that kind of fall in your lap. You know, once you're in alignment with who it is you want to become and where you want to go, and you continue to compound on that momentum, you'd be surprised at how far you can get in it within a short amount of time. And even for myself, like, continuously started meeting people. Everything was in alignment. I wouldn't meet anybody that wasn't conducive to my success. So whether they were better than me, they made more money than me, they were in alignment with who I wanted to become. So I would literally go out and meet general contractors, architects, people that worked in different municipalities, understanding market research. What am I exactly looking for? How do I find different rents? How do I find comps? How do I underwrite deals? How do I model in Excel? What are the right formulas that I need to use in order to get certain outputs in Excel? All these things were a building and compounding effect for me to be at where I am today. And I would just say I would want to thank my younger self for it. You know, sometimes it was hard. Sometimes I didn't know if I was going to figure it out. But, you know, I just kept my head down, stayed focused, and just continued to keep going. And once you realize that quote unquote failure is just redirection and just another way for you to learn, you tend to realize that you want to fail a lot more often so you learn more so that you can achieve what it is you actually want. And once you understand that and you have that level of awareness, life becomes a game, and it becomes a game that's worth living. You'd be like, yeah, I did fuck up on that shit, but I learned a lot from it. Or, I could have went about it from this angle, but I'm glad I went at it from the angle that I did, so that I know not to do that again. And once you change your perspective on certain things, you tend to realize like life is genuinely beautiful and what it can provide for you and what you can make out of it, but it all starts with you. You have to realize that if there's anything that's taking you off track of what it is that you generally want, you have to get rid of it. And yeah, I know it's challenging, but it's only going to be for the greater good. Once you realize it's only going to make you better and only going to improve your life in any way, shape, or form, just take things out gradually. I cold turkey the shit because I just wanted it bad enough. I'd rather die than be a bitch, and I'd rather die than not go after my goals. But uh, yeah, I would say let's say if you have friends that are very negative, and let's say you have 5 friends and they're all negative. Well, I would start with the one you talk the least, eliminate them completely. And then gradually, maybe like a week or two, maybe like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, eliminate the other one, eliminate the other one, eliminate the other one. And you'll realize how much more peaceful not only your life gets, but there's a lot less noise. You're not listening to a bunch of bullshit, talking about a bunch of bullshit. You're just really with yourself and your own thoughts. You can really cultivate who it is that you want to be and who you want to become, and be that person for the greater good of not only your life, but also to be able to serve other people. And I think that has been a true testament of myself and the work that I've been able to put in through reading, listening to podcasts, observing people that are better than me, and really just figuring out what characteristics do they have and how can I make them my own unique way. And from doing that, I've been able to build myself up to get to a point where I can talk to you guys on camera. I can go public speak. I can talk to anybody off the street. I can build relationships in a fucking instant. Like, all these things were a buildup of what I did years ago. And now all of this shit is just coming to fruition now. And don't think it's gonna happen overnight. Just enjoy the process and enjoy the journey, and just reap the reward on the back. And I kinda reminisce on the moments when I didn't know how I was gonna work or how I was gonna figure out, but I ended up figuring it out. And I never worry about things because I know I'll be able to figure out no matter what gets thrown at me. Because either way, I'm gonna win. I'm gonna win. I'm gonna win 1,000%. I don't give a fuck what cards I get dealt. I'm gonna fucking win. So just understand that you can do this. If there's someone out there that you see on the internet that's doing things that you want to do, just know that you can do it too. Whether it's the internet, immediate family, friends, social circles, whatever it may be. Just know that you can do it too. Just know that you can do it too. That's it for today's video. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe.